Welcome back to the podcast. For those of you who are wondering, you are not hearing the wrong song. It is indeed the episode before Halloween. So we thought we'd throw this little ditty in there. Anyways, happy Halloween to everybody out there. This will be dropping, I believe, the day before. So if you're spending it with your families, we hope you're having a safe night and you guys get to go out there, get some cavities, add some sweet treats. Yes, legit though. Please check your kids' candies. And while you're at it, you might as well, instead of giving them all that sugar, head on over to w.gg. Use our promo code Poi and Soy for 10% off your order. It's fantastic tasting energy.
I have the white one.
Right?
What are you doing, guys?
Honestly, I think Nicole used mine and put it somewhere where she doesn't remember it. So I was like, this is the one I have available.
So you can head on over there. You don't even have to search through this because there won't be any needles in this one because you're shaking the drink yourself. You don't got to worry about no poison or all those other weird things associated with candy nowadays. Exactly. And you get all of the sugar rush without any of the sugars. And for those who have been patiently waiting and were wondering exactly what today's what-if scenario is, the what-if scenario for the day is: what if Derrick Rose never got injured? Breakdown of what did happen for Derrick Rose. So obviously the post-Jordan Bulls luck out with the lowest lottery odds to win the number one overall pick in the 2009 draft. They end up with Derrick Rose out of Memphis University. He wins Rookie of the Year in 2009. He is the youngest MVP in league history by 2011, which is his third year in the league. Uber athletic, score first guard. He went down with a torn ACL in the first round of the 2012 playoffs. The Bulls end up losing that series and never returned to prominence because of that moment right there. Derrick Rose came back two more times and endured two more supposed season-ending / career-ending injuries in a span of 3 years. Eventually, the Bulls trade him to the New York Knicks, and they build around their young forward in Jimmy Butler. That is what happened. Today, we're going to explore the what if of what could have happened. So, Jared, throwing it over to you first. The first scenario I said, what if LeBron, Wade, and Bosh decide to join Rose and Noah in Chicago in 2010?
So I think Derrick Rose doesn't get hurt. But I mean, you got so many, but then it's kind of like we talked about, right? There's only one ball, and then you have like LeBron, D Rose, and D Wade. And you're looking at that. That could have been a very big. It probably would have been like the same thing in Miami, learning to share the ball. At least in my opinion, in the beginning of things. But I do think that this team would have been on a big tear. And then you have Joakim Noah, who doesn't have to do anything, just rebound and play defense. And then, but it sucks because you never would have seen the Joakim Noah LeBron like head-to-head matches and how it always got chippy between the two of them. But I think.
Might have been best friends. I mean, you could have got a whole different type of relationship. They might have been best friends.
It would have been a different shape of the NBA. Does this help or hurt LeBron for player of the year, greatest of all time? Because you're playing in Chicago now. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna please the haters. You're gonna hate the haters. Like what's gonna happen in that regard? So for player purposes, like that could be different, right? I think Chris Bosh's role would have been more expanded in this role because you have Joakim Noah to do the Chris Bosh dirty work. So he could have played up probably a lot more years as well, not having the wear and tear of his body. doing both sides of the ball. Same thing with Dwayne Wade. You have a kid like Derrick Rose who can be that, and then Dwayne can be the little less circusy, flashy, like flash that he is. And I think this would actually help elongate everybody's career. I don't know what it would have done to Jimmy Butler's career. That's the thing for me. Jimmy took over that team when D Rose left, and when that happened, that's where you got to see the dog that you always talk about, that we always talk about. Like, that's where Jimmy learned to be Jimmy, and that's the hard part. Does he get that if he stays? Maybe he doesn't pan out and they trade him away, but still at the same time, like the names that you named, Captain Kirk. I mean, Captain Kirk could have done some crazy things. He could have been just as simple as Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole, right? Bring the ball down, and he had a better shot than both of them. I mean, what could have been? It would have been great. I think, man, they would have been a force to be reckoned with. The way we talked about a lot of other super teams, right? Because I mean, now you think about it in that regard. But a lot of what happened to Derrick Rose really, in my opinion, made a lot of these guys' careers. If they went there, they probably would have been top of the table on both sides every year, or at least in the final. Maybe LeBron's finals run is even longer because of that. The only question too that you brought up is, I love Tibbs, but would he overwork them? Does LeBron lastly year 21 with the way Tibbs runs his teams? You know what I mean? The longevity and health thing.
They probably move on from him because of the core. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if that came down to it and they said something, I'm pretty sure it would have happened. But I mean, you gotta kind of think about that too, because of the wear and tear, that the way that he plays the ball, both sides of the ball, and the expectations of how long you should be on the court for. I think that could have torn down a little bit of the body too. I don't think we see the same LeBron as LeBron is in 2021.
They're guaranteed the finals for at least 5 years, and two, I was like, because like the Heat were like literally the only other team that were a threat in the East during that time. Like, let's be real honest about the East during that time. It was nobody. And you didn't really get the Pacers just yet. No. You didn't have the Atlanta Hawks yet because Kyle Korver's still there.
You don't get Pacers to what, 2014?
Yeah, maybe
Paul George
maybe earlier than
2013.
Maybe a little earlier.
When they were talking about prime LeBron or whatever.
Yeah,
that's when
that's
Paul George and were contesting.
I'm gonna say this. I think they win at least 3 during that time, and I think there's a very good
speech
shot
of how many could have actually really come true.
Legit, yeah, because the fact that they would have had that same starting lineup, but with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, is just stupid. Throwing it over to you, Nolan. What if Derrick Rose never goes up for that fateful layup at the end of the game, at the end of a game that really didn't need to be won or have any of the starters out in the last 5 minutes? But yes, anyway, what if he never goes down with that injury? What if he never gets injured? Throwing it over to you.
One of the biggest what ifs I think that we've discussed off pod, especially because it's more near and dear to your heart. I didn't mean like that, but it is one of those big what ifs because youngest MVP in NBA history. As much as they don't want to say it, the one guy that the Heat probably were afraid of in that Eastern playoff run. You gotta look at it.
They did say it.
I think D Wade was the one who said it, but I don't know if LeBron was the one who admitted it.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at it the first round. 76ers had no business really being a deep run playoff team.
The Andre Iguodala 76ers.
What?
With what's his name? It was Evan Turner, wasn't it?
Evan Turner.
Yeah.
Then they go on to play the Celtics, the aging Celtics, who I believe in the regular season that year, the Bulls had the upper hand in regular season matchups. So that would not have changed. You still have Luol Deng, you still have Kirk, you still have Noah, you still have all these guys who are producing for this team at a high level under the tutelage of Thibodeau. You move on from that, you go to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heat. I believe their regular season matchup was a split, but from their battles in the past, or the year prior, it's a tough battle between the Bulls and the Heat. You also have the little drama between Noah and LeBron, and it's gonna be a spectacle. You see the Bulls really being that contention team in the Eastern Conference Finals. And for devil's advocate's sake, for the what if series, the Bulls win that conference finals. They play the Thunder in the finals. 2012 was the Thunder, I believe.
Yeah.
That Thunder's team was too young, not ready to be that deep into that playoff series. The Bulls are looking at their first championship since the Michael Jordan era. And that's a big thing because I think this creates a different atmosphere for what the Bulls have been doing for the last year, whereas it was trying to hold on to what D Rose was able to do for that team and that franchise. What?
I know I signed up for this, but I'm just like, it hurts so much when I hear you talking about I'm just sitting here like that sounds so great, Nolan.
You really sold me on this.
I legit.
It would have been Chicago
I got goosebumps thinking about us winning. I was like, dude. And nobody's talking about whether or not Russell Westbrook is as athletic as Derrick Rose. Why did I pick this one?
Why did you do this to yourself?
It hurts still.
Silly Keone. Do I think that this would have been a repeat championship team? I can't promise you that because it is still the Heat in that East. And like I said, that Eastern Conference Finals is a coin flip because they're just that much of a battle team between each other. I guess you could call it the rivalry of that time for those two teams. You're looking at a nice little landing spot for a lot more people in free agency. And it's a big opportunity for that Bulls to not just bolster what they have, but to create even a jump forward from what the Heat had. Because the Heat, they were bringing in a lot of a lot of older veteran guys or guys who could do their role well. But you have the Bulls who probably had the money to kind of push around a little bit easier for free agents. And now you're looking at a potential dynasty.
Bulls team. They're a dynasty, but the Warriors are
I didn't say who
they
signed.
win one championship. They're a dynasty.
I said they could become.
They would have been a dynasty.
You
in my situation. In my scenario, they would have been a dynasty.
That year alone, that 2012 year, that was their opportunity to win it against the Heat, to take them out and win the championship. Because the year after that, you get a very different LeBron James. That team has meshed a lot better. It's going to be a lot scarier to face when you get to the postseason, especially because if you win that, not saying they would, but they would have possibly that, like, kind of what you called it, the championship something. What did you call it with the Nuggets? You said the Nuggets will have championship hangover. There we go. So I was like, I do think that was their shot. They could have got that one ring and then, solidified everybody's careers right there. But yes, thank you for joining us on this very special What If episode. We will continue to do these whenever we don't have much to talk about, but the NBA season is starting. You guys have already gotten to explore that because we are a little bit behind. But again, happy Halloween to everybody out there. Go out, get yourself some W. It has been a pleasure. It's been a joy from all of us here at Boy and Sword.
Good vibes and love, everybody.
Hang